in TV land, welcome to my show, syllaBLISS or syllabus. I, of course, am your host, the fake professor. And on syllaBLISS or syllabus, I comb through college syllabi from across the nation. Because it turns out, after teaching college for almost 2 decades, 5-time teacher of the year, I realized that I developed only one real skill, and that is the ability to comb through college syllabi and tell you, my loyal viewers, subscribers, when I read between the lines, if students in that class can expect a blissful experience or if they're straight up effing screwed. That's correct. And that's my standard disclaimer. This is all in good fun. This is not meant to be mean-spirited. These are just stylistic differences. And we are only using, that's the royal we, syllabi that are in the public domain, that are publicly available. And let me just say that teaching college is a very difficult gig, particularly, especially in 2025. So, all right, so we are in chapter 4. And to start chapter 4, we did a modern day history fall 2025 syllabus because, of course, in chapter 1, we did intro to psych, chapter 2, research methods, chapter 3, stats, and then chapter 4, at this point, I'm just looking at interesting courses that are going on this fall. And I stumbled across a cool history one, which I did. And I think I want to keep going with history. So for today, we're going to do another history class. And I'm really excited because this is another really great university, one of the land-grant universities. What can you say? One of the United States' sort of great universities for sure. The Boilermakers, Purdue. So really excited to be doing a class from Purdue. So here we have History of the American West, fall 2025 at Purdue University. So let's take a look at it. I'll get a little bigger for you here. Okay, right out of the gate, what are we seeing? We're seeing something positive here. This is a 5-page syllabus. We just actually saw our longest syllabus, a 30-page syllabus. That's right. We had to get to history to get a 30-page syllabus. And boy, was it an interesting experience. So here we have the opposite end of that spectrum, of that distribution, a 5-page syllabus. Now, of interest, both syllabi here, both of these history syllabi started off with an image. And I thought both images were pretty cool, actually. This seems like a pretty great image for a history of the American West. Makes a lot of sense. And it's just kind of cool. It piques your interest. So I dig it. Let's get into it. Description. This course examines both place and process in the history of the U.S. West. The West is a region that is environmentally unique, interesting. First peopled by ancestral Native Americans, and later the object of Spanish, French, English, Russian, and finally, American conquest and expansion. Very interesting. I am very interested. We will also study the West as a discrete region with a distinctive relationship to the U.S. federal government, discrete patterns of race relations, and a storied place in American cultural memory. The temporal focus of this course begins in the late 18th century and continues to the early 20th century. The course is structured on lectures and workshops. Your success in this course depends on your active participation in all aspects of the class. Hey, I like it. Normally, I hate course descriptions, but as somebody who's not a history professor, these are piquing my interest. I got to say, that is a good description. This just kind of comes off as an instructor who really knows their stuff, is kind of serious about what they're doing. I don't see any goofballery in here whatsoever. I'm excited to take this class. Let's keep going. Course objectives, biggest waste of space on college syllabi. You've heard me say that now many, many times. Never pay attention to course objectives. They are the ingredient section of a syllabus. Okay, required text. All right, very nice. The American West. You can also access the complete book, PDFs for each chapter through the library. There you go, folks. Gotta love it. That is a great sign. You can also access the complete book, PDFs for each chapter through the library. I'm assuming that means free. I'm guessing that means free. You can purchase the textbook or you can get the kind of PDF version online through the library for free. Other assigned readings, videos, etc. I hate etceteras. You should never have an etc. on a formal document. Come on now. We are college professors. Are available on Brightspace and Canopy. Very nice. So that's all free stuff as well. Okay, very nice. And I like this. Word doc PDFs will not be graded. Course preparation. Each Tuesday, you're required to read and or view the content assigned for the day before. Notice the italics, drawing emphasis, you come to class. So they're letting you know strategically you're required to do this stuff before class. This is a very common question from students. Do we need to do this before class or just before evaluation? So I appreciate that this instructor is letting their students know before class. Your ability to participate in class depends on your preparation. If I sense that students are not completing the readings, I will use random quizzes to inspire your participation. Interesting. All right. That's kind of a throwback. That is definitely stylistic. Anytime you see in a syllabus when an instructor says, if I determine, if I sense, right? So you don't really know what that means. That ton of subjectivity into what should really be an objective document. That is not a good sign. But anyway, and the random quizzes to encourage participation or attendance. It's very stylistic. It's not something that I do. I do understand why instructors do that. So let's keep going. I don't like that if I sense, but let's keep going here. I will take roll at the beginning of each class. Okay, so there's formal attendance here. More than 5 absences without notification will impact your grade. Okay, but they're giving you 5. That's reasonable. Repeated tardiness or early departure will also be noted and ultimately impact your final grade. Okay, you got to be clear on how. What do you mean will impact it? I got to see that. If this is all just, if I decide you're tardy too much, I'm taking off points. These are adults. You cannot do, these are not juveniles, right? These are not minors. It has to be an objective policy. So let's see if this instructor has an objective policy. Class ethics. Ooh, interesting. This class is intended to encourage open, informed discussions, and I hope to protect and foster a classroom atmosphere that will encourage open and enlightened discussion in the class. Respect, open-mindedness, and tolerance will be the standard for all class discussions. If you encounter any bullying, unfair treatment, or have any negative experience in my class or beyond due to other students, please consider my office a place where you can voice those concerns to me. Really, really nice statement. I really like this, right? These statements are the best, right? You got to be an adult. I'm going to treat you like an adult. You have to act like a fucking adult. I don't need to tell you all the way to disrespect somebody. Couldn't have made it this far in life without knowing them. So be an adult. I'll treat you like an adult. And if you got a problem, come talk to me at my office hours. Really, really like it. Kind of old school in a good way. Academic integrity, right? That's all the same. Workshop assignments. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Thursdays will be devoted to workshops and associate assignments. Students will be organized into teams. Very cool. Big fan of classes today that use sort of teams in a more creative way. I think that just generalizes to the real world more effectively. Groups will work together on tasks, but each student will be responsible for their work. Really like that. If you do not complete the assignment or if you are absent, you forfeit those points. If you have university-related extracurricular activities, you can submit the assignment before. Very nice. If you're absent due to illness, hard copies of the assignments will be submitted. Great. Midterm and final. Let's check it out. The midterm assignment will be posted on Brightspace 1 week before the due date. Students who submit the midterm late will be docked 5 points for each day late. Interesting. The final assignment will be posted on Brightspace 1 week before the due date. No late submissions of the final assignment will be expected. If you fail to submit the final by the deadline, you will receive a 0, no exception. Again, very straightforward, strict but fair, letting you know that's just the way it is. I really think, especially as we're kind of course correcting post-COVID, that syllabi with this type of language work really well. And then there are some cool little images there. What do we got? We got a cactus. That's cool. And all right. It's kind of fun. Oh, I see some more. Okay. Very interesting. Course schedule. I reserve the right to make changes to the schedule as needs arrive. Again. Oh, there you go. Okay, here we go. Students will be informed about these changes through class emails and class assignments and are posted on Brightspace. Some of class meetings will be canceled due to professional obligations. Content assignments will be made available. Again, you just got to say with advance notice. I get this. Again, this is kind of legal language. This is protecting faculty from being in a situation where they have to change the syllabus due to some circumstance. You're going faster, you're going slower, there's an illness, there's an emergency, shit just happens, you got to change things. As long as you let people know ahead of time, you just don't want the language to sound like I might pull the rug out from under you without you knowing. I know the instructor isn't going to do that. I just think you got to say that we're going to let you know ahead of time. But they do a pretty good job of letting students know there will be announcements. Okay, there's some little lizards going on here, which are kind of cool. And then you can see here you have the course, what they're doing. Oh, Ken Burns, nice. The people, cool. Lots of little lizards, kind of weird. War and Destiny. Awesome. And then this is just a breakdown of the course. Anything else? Oh, and happy trails. There's some guys. Happy trails to you, little doggy. All right. Hey, man, I like it. This seems like a pretty interesting course. Okay, so what do I think about Purdue's history of the American West? Hey, I like it. Here you have an instructor who knows what they want to do. They're confident in themselves, and that shows up on their syllabus. They are not spending time justifying why they're doing stuff. They are not explaining why the syllabus is too long or too short. They're getting in there. They're doing what they do. They're letting students know very clearly what their expectations are, and those expectations are high, which is really nice to see. But then also there's no goofball stuff whatsoever. Just about everything is objective. There are a couple subjective things which make me uncomfortable, but it seems like everything else the instructor does a really good job on, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Not a whole lot of extra fluff in this whatsoever, but looking at the topics, they seem pretty cool. I like the straightforward approach to things. Purdue, this seems like, again, an example of a school that has a kind of a high standard culture for their students. And this is really showing up on the syllabus, kind of allowing this instructor to really kind of do things the way they want. And 5 pages, gotta love it. And potentially also a free textbook. So all of those things indicate a straight up syllaBLISS. Congratulations. This looks like a pretty cool class and a pretty cool instructor. Purdue, syllaBLISS. Hope you like that one, folks. I'll see you next time. Peace.